You're listening to another great show from the Nod Network. Find more great content at nerdod.com.
So, Dr. Smith, what you're a doctor of? Oh, I got my PhD in theology. Oh, wow, excellent.
Hi, and welcome to the Nerd OD podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Dan.
I'm Reg.
I'm Donny.
Oh, look at that. We have a fourth person.
Hang on, that's three people, isn't it?
No,
it's
I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
It's here, and Doddy's
Fucking
here.
hell. Steve math. I thought my math was bad.
Oh, yeah.
But wow.
Sorry, it's because I can't see people. I'm like, hang on, how many people are talking? How many different voices are there?
It's tricky.
Honestly, as well, that intro sounded very much Geek Season 1, Episode 4.
It did a little bit. Yeah. Oh, and
Hi.
look, guess who else is here? Hi, I'm Dave Wilson. This is Whisky Words. Hi, guys.
More than Episode 4. Where is he tonight, by the way?
I don't know, baby stuff, I'm guessing.
Oh, right.
Or maybe
It's the one
he's,
time as well where we were all here. We could have actually commenced.
didn't even invite Doddy, and he just turned up.
Yeah,
No,
just randomly out of the blue.
Hi, Doddy.
Hi,
Hi.
everyone. First time podcasting.
Really?
Go on,
Like your
you
first
do
time
it
ever?
away.
I was going to say I'll do the intro.
Move closer to your mic, Doddy. We need to
Every-
teach you the ways of podcasting. Part of
Everyone
that
would
is
have been
move
like,
closer.
who is this?
I would have
Like,
gone,
what?
hi, it's Donny here for some games. I took over.
So last week, we talked about Doddy accidentally like coming in on the podcast,
So
like halfway through, and we found out where he was
should-
and what he was doing. He was breaking
Gallivanting.
curfew.
in drunk with the neighbours, but at a respectable 2 meters apart.
I don't believe it for a second.
They're not that pretty.
You know when
I
when
think
you're
he was
drunk,
sitting on knees.
you know when you're drunk, they say that like a 4 is like a 9. You know, it's difficult to judge. Is it the same with distance? Is 2, like half a meter? You think is 2, so you were actually like, right up against someone.
Potentially, yeah.
Well, by the way, so for people who are unaware, so if you are a follower of Nerd OD on our Facebook page and a few other things, you'll have noticed a few posts go up for Summon Games, which is sort of a tabletop gaming website, YouTube channel, everything. And Doddy is the dungeon master over at Summon Games. We should call him. So good old part of the Nod Network, the only one that's sort of still stuck around. Everyone else seems to have got bored, but Doddy is still there,
Including me.
Go.
yeah.
I'm quite impressed, Steve. It is the second week running, and you're here.
Yeah,
Yeah, but to be fair, you're in my kitchen, so
clever. And to be fair, he nearly wasn't. He only replied like 5 minutes before we were about to go online.
I was making a video.
Oh, that was because you were making that video.
Yeah,
Okay, so
and I was giggling the
Sean-
whole way through.
we said, "Have you guys seen my video?" And we all said, "No, we haven't." And he said,
Please
"Oh,
watch
just
my video.
before we do anything, just watch it." So obviously, you guys can't. Will you? Can you watch it? Where is it? Wait,
It's
let's listen to it and let's see if it's going to be Nerd OD worthy.
Okay, it's
I
Edgar
made
Wright worthy.
the. Is it okay? I made the executive decision to put up my Easter egg hunt video onto the Nerd OD page. I thought it's quality enough that it would go up there, but I feel like I don't need to run things past you guys.
I
So-
did have a few people actually comment about how many figures you've got. And how
That's
mental
fine,
your
that's
your
allowed.
flat looks.
Nothing wrong with that. That's just one room, Reg.
I know.
It's just-
I've been
And
there.
it's just, and it's technically just one shelving unit. But
It just
anyway, okay,
encapsulates the
so
whole room.
just right. So Sean, well, are you explaining the video, don't you, Sean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Here we go. So let me know if you guys can't hear this.
Hi,
So yesterday I put up a poll asking you guys on Facebook and Instagram whether you put the milk in first or last when making a cup of tea. Obviously the answer's first, but stay with me. On Facebook, 2 said first and 27 said last, whilst on Instagram, 5 people said first and an overwhelming 35 people were wrong. So we're going to settle this once and for all. Tailspin's going to be milk first, whilst Chip and his mate is going to be milk last. Chip and Dale. Milk, sugar, tea. We're going to start by putting all the ingredients in first in Tailspin, like you should do to make a proper cup of tea. Boop. 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 Here comes the milk. Chip and Dale still sat there just chilling out. Go on, have a tea bag. Oh, kettle's boiled. Don't know what's going on here. There we go. Lovely cup of tea. Right, let's get the sugars in this one and then pop the milk in. Ugh. Starting to think I went a little bit too milk heavy on this one. So right, we'll stick another tea bag in. There you go. Oh,
Surely that says it all.
So many.
Wait.
wrong things
Wait.
in this video.
Okay, let's try this one.
The fact you didn't spit all over the camera disappoints me. Now, I don't drink tea, right? But I can see the sense and the science behind putting the milk in last. Makes far more sense because your tea bag goes in dry, and then you pour the hot water over it. And then exactly. You pour the hot water over it, and then it starts brewing the tea straight away. But if you put the milk over it, you just get a cold, soggy, milky tea bag before you then put the boiling hot water in. But because it's already got cold milk in,
no, because when you put
temperature,
what you do is you put all your ingredients in first, right? That gets the tea bag going. That gets it all wet.
It's
and
the hot
ready.
water that gets it going.
No, I mean any water gets it going.
Oh, in fact, Steve, shall we just stick with the science and say that your brew making ability is fucking shocking, right?
What are you talking about?
Milk,
The fact it went wrong
goes
in the middle of making it.
after you've done it. Reason being is the actual hot water infuses the tea leaves that are going around in that
There
bag.
we go, Professor Reg.
If you put the milk in first,
Reg,
then the lower the temperature means that it can't infuse properly. Not only that, how long did you keep your tea bag in that cup for before you took it out?
Which one?
Because the answer should be 5 minutes.
Oh.
If it's not 5 minutes,
5 minutes,
scientifically, it is not. It is not the perfect brew.
sounds like a long
that
time.
Is actual science. Trust me, I am
make
chief
tea,
brew maker.
I make green tea and honey every now and again for Shell, and that tea bag goes in there for no more than about 20 to 30 seconds until the water turns a bit brown, and then it comes out.
There's different
5 minutes.
I mean,
would be.
I'm making a bit of a joke.
Proven fact. I think it was Harvard.
Hang on.
Is Reg
No,
here?
Excuse me. Hang on. I'm finished. Let me discuss this.
Oh,
I'm agreeing
God.
with you. Don't worry, Rex. Go on.
Because on Food Unwrapped on Channel 4 or Channel 5, whatever channel it was on, they actually took this debate to a university where they had science and professors of like teology confirming the fact that you need to have your tea bag in your cup for 5 minutes and the milk goes in after. Otherwise, you're just a pure fucking scumbag, Steve.
So, Dr. Smith, what you're a doctor of? Oh, I got my PhD in theology. Oh, wow, excellent.
It was useful for this one occasion.
My question here is though. So we made a little comment before actually that the season 1 of this podcast was just full of inaccuracies because we just never really quality checked anything. We'd just be like, what was the name of that guy that was in that thing? And
now we've
program.
got Reg as the scientific consultant.
Now we're all sat on our laptops doing remote podcasting.
Yeah, but that's no fun.
We can immediately, because there's no way you didn't Google that, Reg, right?
Didn't actually.
Didn't you? So you knew all those scientific facts.
Told you, literally, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's making a good fucking cup of tea.
Okay.
And I know It takes 5 minutes. When I make a brew, I always check the time once I put the water in the tea bag before I go back in.
It's really
take it
strong
out.
though, right? After 5 minutes, surely that's quite
It's
strong.
not. It's a beautiful cup of tea.
Dan,
It's a
going back to your
beautiful
point a second ago with how you make shells. So
Yeah.
I've got this posh new kettle, right, that you may have seen in the video, that you can boil water at different temperatures, and it says along the top what the temperature, what tea the temperature is associated with. So whether it's white tea, brown tea, black tea, green tea, or coffee. So there's another point on when you're talking about making Shell's green tea. Not only does it have to stand for a shorter period of time, it also needs to be put in water that isn't as hot as what you'd use with a normal
Not boiling.
tea bag.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to burn the tea.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when so Reg getting his tea brain out, put that in your kettle and smoke it.
Look at the big brains on Brad.
I completely agree with the green tea thing.
Okay,
that makes
fair
sense.
enough.
And also, if you're going to put milk in a hot drink first, you do it with coffee, so you don't actually burn the beans or the granules, whatever it
Oh,
is.
there's a coffee setting on there as well. I love my new kettle. It's great.
So that's how you do that.
Oh.
But yeah, so there you go.
Cool.
So how are we all?
That's all right.
I'm
I've
good.
seen your video, and I'm just really angry and upset.
Did you just watch it? Well, I'm angry and upset about the fact that I am talking to you guys instead of watching Westworld.
Do it.
I
No one's stopping
haven't
you.
got round to watching
Get the fuck
Westworld
out.
yet. I have got round to watching Tiger King.
Oh my god! Since last week.
Finally, be happy about that. Yeah. Well,
Have you watched all of it?
Yeah, today.
Oh, that's fantastic! I just saw on, and this is I'm not sure whether this is racist or not, but there was just a video posted on Facebook of this Indian guy pretending to be oh shit, I forgot his name. Joe Exotic.
Right.
It is so funny. It's brilliant.
I can't wait to see how many Tiger King cosplays are going to be at the next
there's
Comic
going to
Con
be
we go to.
so many.
I'm going to put up a request, in fact, on the Internet Sings planning group. Could someone please do a Tiger King cosplay for this song?
That should be your next sing along. One of his
That's
songs.
it. I saw a tiger. Like, I swear, that is definitely not him singing.
It definitely isn't. I mean, that's the whole joke, though, isn't it?
They confirmed it, didn't they? In fact, I think it was in that follow-on episode that they said they confirmed it's not him that's singing it, and also he's terrified of tigers.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think we should do it as a Comic-Con sings, but dub the whole thing, so actually not get people to sing and just dub over them.
Could do that. How is he terrified of tigers?
Because one of those tigers was blind that you went in the cage with, and the other one was tranked. So the only ones you see him with are the blind ones, or the ones that have been tranked, so they can't attack.
Or the baby ones, yeah.
Because one of them eats his foot.
But come on, guys, that fucking bitch, Carole Baskin.
She did it.
Well, yeah, I know, but you know. A documentary always spins things certain ways, doesn't it? It's like,
but even if she didn't kill him, she's still really annoying.
Season 2 is going to be all about the following her, isn't it? And they're actually doing one because they reckon they've got enough evidence now to reopen the case. So they're going to do a follow-on series about the disappearance of him.
The thing that absolutely blows my mind, and this isn't necessarily, I mean, it's Dave said last week. It's just mind-bending. You'll watch an episode and it's just like, oh, it's a bit crazy. And each episode ends with just this insane revelation. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then, by the way, then it turns out she killed her husband and fed him to a tiger.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends. So, great. Yeah, I mean, as a roller coaster ride, right, that it's quite a good, interesting story. I like it. I watched it all in one day, so that says it all, right? But it's more...
It's a good binge.
How long have they been making this documentary for? Like way before Netflix was a big thing.
Oh, they've got footage. They've got footage
years ago.
Yeah, but that's
and
not.
Some of the footage is amazing. I can't believe they've got some of the footage they have.
But
it's insane.
Danny's he's an egomaniac. That's the reason why he wanted the park being recorded all the time. And they were constantly in and out of the news, so people were just recording them all the time. It was insane.
Absolutely.
What I find shocking though is when you're watching that thing with Joel.
Okay, so they've done an episode 8, haven't they? Which was just like a live stream.
And catching up with them. Yeah. Have you not watched that?
Type interviews. No, I might do. I might watch it tomorrow.
So he talks to the guy who sat there in front of that lad when he kills himself. And he was asking him, he's like, do you think he meant to do it? And he was saying no, because you could see the look in his eyes after the bang went off that he looked like he was like, shit, I've just shot my brains out. And it just made me feel ill, like, oh yeah. Got me right in the feels.
Yeah. Spoilers if anyone
last
hasn't
thought,
seen
isn't
this.
it?
Yeah. Last thought of shit.
Yeah, just shot my brains out. Mental. Absolutely mental.
Dottie, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I was talking to the guys. It's a very interesting watch. But it kind of trails off in the middle and you're like, where the hell's this going now? And then it just ends with, oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it kind of... I watched the advert when it first appeared and people were starting to say, oh, this is amazing, like the trailer, and I was like, I'm not really interested in it.
The trailer didn't do it justice.
Well, the trailer probably scrapes the tip of the iceberg, and says, here's a little this is about. But, all 7 episodes are about something completely different to each other. One huge aspect of this story, and the fact that there are 7 insane, ridiculous stories from this cast of characters is mind-blowing.
Did you watch Don't Fuck With Cats?
Haven't yet, no. I might do.
It.
That was a hard watch, but I would recommend it to anybody. It was really difficult to watch some of the episodes, but fuck me, a lot goes on in that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's a really impressive bit of documentary making. That's one thing I'll say. But the guy who started it, because it starts off with the filmmaker saying, "Oh, I decided I wanted to go and be around these guys and film them and everything." But then that's just it. He must have spent so much of his life hanging around with them, getting all this footage, and he had no idea that this is where it was going to go.
Oh, that weird guy! What was his name?
Oh, well, not even just him, but yeah, the guy who was doing a reality TV show. No, but I mean the guy. In the first episode, you see him, and then dotted out through it, you'll see him sort of talking to people, and he'll pass a little comment of it. So that's the guy who was making the film.
Yeah,
and
he was the only person.
He had no idea that this was how it was going to turn out. At what point did he go, I am onto something huge here?
Well, this is the thing, right? I was talking to somebody whilst I was watching the documentary with Joel, and I made the point that all these people that were featuring on the catch-ups all seem like down-to-earth, normal, real people. Like, none of them seemed as cartoonish as they did on the show. And then that guy came on, that bloody cowboy with the stupid hat that was smoking in that pub and talking about making the documentary series. He came back on and it was like, oh yeah, he's still a cartoon. He's fucking ridiculous. I think he's the most insane one. He's the one we've got to watch out for.
The guy making a reality show.
Yeah.
I only watched it today and I can't remember half the names.
No.
But
there's too many. It's just a bit mental.
Yeah.
But didn't his ex-husband got new teeth?
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Really weird.
So at least one good thing came from it. He's not got meth teeth anymore.
Teeth.
They called them. They said they even went, there's a thing called meth teeth, and all the meth gathers in the teeth. And then suddenly they cut to a clip of him grinning with like 2 front teeth, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
It's genius.
The conspiracy, the guy who takes over the park.
Yeah.
Apparently he kind of looks like Carole Baskin's original
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. You see the pictures and stuff, and they look like the same person. It's insane.
Yeah.
Same
Does the Everett well on that
same
episode.
appearance.
Yeah. I'd fucking love it if that was true.
Gotta be.
So what else have people been up to?
So I've been sort of getting the next Internet Sings video going.
Yeah.
So if people at home have probably seen the last one we did, which was the theme from Friends, and we decided to do Comic-Con Sings, but not wait for Comic-Con because it's probably going to be 7 years until we can go to another Comic-Con. So we decided to do it at home and get people to do the video. And there's a lot of people doing these things at the minute. We're doing them well, which is one good thing. Some of them are terrible. If I'll get to one in a second actually, but I've seen some where people are just lip syncing along and like, what's the point in that? What is the point? Whereas this is people singing or trying to sing. So that one was fun and people were really into it. So we were talking about what the next song should be, and like I think we were joking about doing "We're All in This Together" because that's all I ever hear. I'm walking through Asda, and Asda are like, please remember, only 4 loaves of bread per person. Remember, we're all in this together. I was like, and every time I hear it, I'm just like, we're all in this together, and that's all I know. So that's where I stop. But so I was joking, maybe that's the next song. So I put it up in the group in the in we have the Internet Sings planning group, and 90% of people were like, this will be amazing. Yes, this is a song to do. A couple of people like Reg were like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not doing that. It definitely it has its fans and it's.
I think we need to start opening it up to more people, though.
Well, I have. I've put it up as like sort of on some of the pages saying if you want to join this group. We're up to like 50 members, so we've got 50 people who are interested in doing it. I might email some bigger cosplayers, maybe some of the people that we did. Who are you wearing with?
Yeah,
and see if any of them want to do something. People. Yeah, I'll email Jessica Negri and see what she says.
Do it.
But yeah, anywho, so we were thinking, okay, but then there was a pushback from a few people. So I thought, let's put up a post saying what does people want to do, and some people were like, oh, let's do some 80s songs, or let's do this, and someone said, let's do
poll, didn't you?
Always. Well, I did eventually. I got suggestions first. So someone said, what about Always Look on the Bright Side of Life? And I was like, oh, that'd be great, actually. Yeah, okay. So I put 4 options. I think I put an 80s one. I put Take On Me by a-ha, which I would like to do, but not tell everyone that we're actually doing the Real Big Fish version.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the next one. That's definitely the next one. So that somebody said Journey. So yeah, maybe that. Always Look on the Bright Side of Life and High School Musical. And I put that up, and it was neck and neck between Always Look on the Bright Side of Life and High School Musical. And then Always Look on the Bright Side of Life sort of edged ahead by a couple. And I was like, okay, great. Let's just have a listen to it. And I was sat there listening to the lyrics. So I'm going to go through my train of thought as I'm listening to this. I'm going to read the lyrics up, okay? So some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this will help things turn out for the best.
For the best.
Oh, and then Always Look on the Bright Side, right? So that is nice and positive. That sounds good, right? Yeah, we're all happy.
Yeah, then
with
it goes a bit weird, doesn't it?
Well, this is the next bit, and I know the song. I've listened to it dozens of times, but I never thought about it until this moment. Then, for life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. And then the chorus is going, so always look on the bright side of death just before you draw your terminal breath. And then I was like, yeah, we can't do this.
No,
we cannot do this right now. And
Jesus Christ, I didn't even think about that.
Absolutely. And I was talking to Shell, and she goes, well, it's funny. I was like, no, it is, but it's not funny enough for us to not get cancelled. Like, no, we can't. So I was going to message each of you and go, guys, can you all just vote for anything else, please? But then, fortunately, High School Musical leapt ahead by 2 votes, and I was like, right, closing the polls. Okay, we're doing High School Musical. But I was very nearly going to just delete the poll and put up, like, sorry, everyone. There was a bit of pushback on High School Musicals. We're not doing that. We can't do Always Look on the Bright Side of Life because it's all about singing how it's fine if you die. So we're going to do Journey. But then, we're doing High School Musical now. And we're all right. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines left to get, which is really good going.
It only went up about an hour ago, didn't it?
Yeah. Last time it was a flipping nightmare.
That's insane.
But yeah, we're doing well. So if you are listening to this and you have anything that resembles a cosplay, even if it's just like a Flash T-shirt, you can just pretend that you're Sheldon Cooper. Please join our group. I think we shared it on the NerdOD Facebook page. It's called NerdOD, the Internet Sings Planning Group, and you should be able to find it. If not, message us and we'll send you an invite. So that's what I've been doing this evening and today, watching Tiger King and planning that.
I have been working, which was great fun. Although I have had lots of fun taking Oliver out and about, doing walkies and stuff. That was cool. And the most upsetting news of my day is, you know how I've been obsessed with that Sega Heroes game on the Android, the one where you can go
they're turning the servers off
and stuff. They're turning the server off on the 20th of May.
No.
Apparently they're turning Tetris off as well.
Shy of like 2 years, I think it is, just playing this now. And I managed to get number 1 in the arena today. So I was like, yay, finally, it's happened. I'm actually number 1 in the world. And it's shutting off. And I'm like, well, that's upsetting. So that's slightly disappointing.
Yeah.
Reg, has that got anything? Yeah, has that got anything to do with the fact that they've turned off Tetris?
No, it's they've got a deal going with the guys that make it, and apparently they're going their separate ways now. So they said that basically from the 20th of May, that's it, no more. So they're turning everything off and shutting it all down and offering refunds for people that have bought stuff and everything. So I was like, fair play to them, but
what, it's just ever bought something
upsetting. I think it's like in the past 6 months. They've done it. So
if you spent money before then you know you've got your money's worth.
Yeah,
this is what I hate about digital. I like physical media because you own it; it is yours. You know, do what you want with it. Then forever yours. But digital media, like I've had games that I've had on previous like devices, phones, whatever, and then I've upgraded to my next phone. And then I've gone to download whatever that game was, and it's gone. They're just like, we don't do it anymore. Well, I only played it yesterday on my old phone. Well, that's because you downloaded it, but now you can't download it again. But I bought that. Yeah, sorry.
It's crazy, really frustrating. But the one thing as well is I genuinely, it's only the likes of the games that I'll have on my other profile that are digital. Like I physically love having games, like having the case, even though you can't get the manual anymore and get that new game smell, like that sort of stuff you don't get now. But I still enjoy having a case because you're spending like 60 fucking quid or 50 quid on a game.
I could never spend that on a digital copy of a game.
On a digital. Well, yeah, I have.
But it has to come with everything. I can't do one stuff. Yeah, collector's one. I can't do it where you buy a game and you've got half the content and it goes, just pay another 50 quid and you get the next 2 DLCs.
No. You want to buy the digital deluxe?
Yeah, I want the whole thing, 60 to 80 quid, no messing.
It's like if they did show me 3 only digital and it was, however much it was that I spent on it, then I would be like, I'd still need it, so I still want it. But
think
you wouldn't get the same feeling.
No,
that you would do having that in your hand. Like I adore.
That's maybe a bit different. If it's something that is exclusive to it, like I bought Broken Sword 5 digitally and for about 20 quid when it came out, and
not the one that they split up into a couple of different volumes.
Yeah, well, a lot of those things they did. A lot of these Kickstarted ones they split into a couple. So that was in 2 parts. So I remember downloading the first one. I remember trying to. It got released at like 6 p.m. and I was in work till 8 o'clock, and I wanted to play it as soon as I got home. And I had my laptop there, and I set it downloading, but the Wi-Fi at work used to be terrible. And I remember being on about 94% as we were locking the shop up, and I locked the door and leant against the door with my laptop, let everyone go home, and I was just stood there outside the shop connecting to the Wi-Fi, waiting for it to download so I could go home. And it finished at about 8:05. So
did that, and when Jedi Fallen Order came out, and I got that, and I was in work on the Saturday because I had like so much stuff I needed to do, and I was like, right. So I took it to work with me with the PS4 and just put it under the desk, hooked up to the monitor and stuff, so I could actually play it when it fully installed and stuff. And obviously it's a Saturday, so no one's in work.
Right.
And I was like, nice. So sat in work. Literally, I was like doing tidbits, and I was like, I'm just gonna have a quick go. And then finally finished installing. I was like, awesome. Went to press play, and then the fucking boss walked in with a bacon butty for me. He was like, "Oh, seeing you're in today, I was just passing," and I was like, pad in hand, like, yeah, sound shit. And I was like, this is why you should use work internet to download things.
he was monitoring.
Oh, he was blatantly looking at stuff. But like, I think we've already discussed it on, I think it was when it was the Geek podcast, but I've got this habit of doing really bad things on the work internet without thinking about it. Like one of the favorites obviously is like Googling bare naked ladies, well, like typing in bare naked ladies on their thing. All of a sudden our like IT providers like, whoa, this guy's looking at porn. I'm like, I'm not. And when we used to listen to Achievement Hunter, when he used to watch their videos, and he did like the Worms Let's Play, and Gav was naming all these worms after these females, and I was like, I wonder who they are. So I Googled it, and they were just porn stars. And I was like, oh no, like why didn't I think about using my phone to Google that instead of the? So I had to go up to the boss and be like, Brownie, right, I'm watching this video, yeah, and he's like, a fucking gaming video. Like, why are you telling me this in work time? I was like, because it's my dinner, but see these names? I've Googled it. He's like, right, so, it's porn stars. It's like, oh god. He was like, I'll let PCS know that you haven't been looking at porn. It's this. I can see that. And I'm like, I've got to stop doing this. But there's like certain things where you don't think about it. Like I came up on my memories the other day on Facebook, and it was like trying to find the name of people who have sex with cars. So, you know, like the ones who will actually try and have sex with the exhaust of a car.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder if I can find that. So I literally just went straight on the work laptop, and I was like, what's the name of people who have sex with cars?
Oh my God.
I've got to stop doing this.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Okay. It's called autophilia, Sean, if that's the question.
No. Well, I mean, it's an interesting fact. Thanks for that. Also, Dan, how did you know that?
It makes sense.
Did you see my Facebook status a few years back and was like,
maybe
I'll Google it.
It's just in the sat there in the subconscious somewhere. So I do have a question. I was on Disney Plus the other day watching The Mandalorian. Has anybody watched it yet?
Yeah, all of it.
No, I don't want anything spoiled. I managed to avoid the internet for the last 6 months, so I have no idea about anything at all, including characters that may show up in the second episode.
I mean, that sounds like a lie.
It is, because American internet is annoying.
Oh, right.
They don't appreciate that not everything gets released at the same time, and they just decide, let's just make Baby Yoda a thing.
Well, okay. So I was sat there watching it, and the credits rolled, and it said based on Star Wars by George Lucas.
Close.
Really? I know. So, and I'm thinking, okay, when I was growing up, I remember those films coming out, the original ones, and I remember, in my youth, Back to the Future and Indiana Jones.
The prequel trilogies you remember coming out?
Yeah, like all the stuff that was like, that sort of made a generation or made a lifetime in film, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
They're sort of like, they're pillars of recognizable achievement when it comes to movies.
Right.
And then I started thinking about all these kids, like 18-year-olds, 15-year-olds. And my question is, what is their pillars of achievements?
Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, Frozen.
I mean, Frozen's Disney, and Disney's been kind of going since
the 70s. So
but it'll be
There is a
Marvel
lot of
movies.
stuff out. Yeah, I was going to say it's like all the Marvel stuff, which is fucking brilliant. You've got the Harry Potter stuff, which obviously people are
stuff, of
massively
course.
like whoring about. The Michael Bay Turtles films.
Shut your fucking face.
Excuse me, they are all right films.
Let's get a remake.
What?
They are.
Turtles.
Already?
They are.
It was already a remake.
Yeah, but they're going more towards the comic book. So if you read the comics, prepare your tissue box because sad things are going to happen in it.
I thought you meant for another reason then. Prepare your tissue box because April O'Neil's back.
Have you met Reg?
Just I'm not a Megan Fox fan. I'll be completely honest with you. She can burn in
Oh, what I
hell.
meant. I just meant
No.
Turtles that were that was based on the actual comics.
But yeah, honestly,
There you go. There you
so
go.
good. They did a film called Turtles Forever, and it's fucking brilliant. So it's an animated film, but there's one part in it where all variations of the Turtles come together, and it's fucking outstanding. So you've got like the original comic ones, you've got the 80s cartoon ones, you've got the 2013 ones. You've got all the Turtles coming together, and it's so fucking good. It is.
Have you seen?
If you haven't seen it, you need to do it. Also, if you have, I think the one you're about to say, Steve, you're on about Batman v Turtles.
Yeah, I was going to say that Netflix,
so good.
The Netflix documentary that's on about yeah, that's really worth a watch.
Paul keeps on, and he will correct me because I've probably got part of that Turtles for everything wrong. Paul's a huge Turtles fan. He got me when I came off my bike that time when I was off work for ages. He literally, because he's got every single Turtles comic and cartoon and any media basically ever existed. I got a parcel through the post, and it was every single Turtles cartoon that's ever been made up until that point, and a USB stick with every single issue of the Turtles comics on. And I was like, nice. And that's what I watched and did. And then when we flew on the plane to America with Dan, I sat there and read a load of Turtles comics because it was awesome. And that, my friend, is literally in 4 days' time. It was,
who gave you that?
Paul. Oh, it would have been when I flew with Ash, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but anyway.
That's how we found it.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
I'm glad you had nothing else to talk to your new bride about on a plane. You're just like, shut up, I'm reading Turtles.
It's my wedding anniversary tomorrow. It's been literally like 6 years.
Jesus.
No, 4 years, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
6 years. 4 years tomorrow, which is insane.
What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's so lucky. So lucky to have me.
4 years is fruit or flowers in the States, but linen or silk in the UK as a traditional theme. But the modern theme, Reg, is electrical appliances.
So,
Oculus Quest.
when we were dating for Valentine's Day 1 year, this sounds really bad because we weren't even moved in together yet. I bought Ash a matching kettle and toaster.
Was that the purple one?
Oh, God.
The purple ones because she really wanted them. And I thought, this is really nice. And I remember going to the Black House Grill for our date. And I took him with me. And I was like, I don't know why I did this because she had to spend the entire night carting around a toaster and a fucking kettle.
Jesus.
And I was like, but then I do buy awesome presents as well as that. Like, she's done good. She's had the Christian Louboutin shoes. She's had the Tiffany bracelets.
Oh God, I remember the story about the bloody boot off booze. Boot on boots. Boot on boots. Jesus Christ. It's hard being a woman. Boot on shoes.
Yeah. But it's mad. But now, obviously, Oliver gets most of my money now, so she's like gonna have to make do with.
She can live vicariously through the presents that Oliver gets.
You see, this is the awesome thing now. So Oliver, obviously, I'm so glad I've got a boy instead of a girl for this reason alone. Now I'm about to say, is one of our friends who lives up the road. They knock on the door and I stand at the end of the drive when they're walking past to go to the shop to see if we need anything when they're going past. And they've got two girls, and one of their girls is obsessed with Marvel. I mean, she loves all the Marvel like films and cartoons and whatnot. And she come past and she was playing with a Spider-Man. And like Oliver seen it and was like, oh, like loved the look of it because it's like a play school Spider-Man. So it was like a big, chunky, huge figure. It looked awesome. And I was like, oh, have you got a Spider-Man there? It's like, he was my favourite growing up, and like chatting away to her. And then yesterday, we were playing in the garden. We heard this massive, like what the fuck is that? We went running into the to the front door, and there was just on the step with a random act of kindness letter saying, "Hi Oliver, I've seen your face when you seen this. I thought you'd really like it." And she bought him a brand new play school Spider-Man toy, and I was like, oh, he won't care for that, but I will. So like I'm getting all the awesome toys now, and I just thought, shit, I'm going to be able to buy like all the Turtles figures and actually have a reason to buy them so he can play with them, but mainly me. So if I had a girl, like, you know, she wouldn't appreciate most of the stuff I want to buy.
So I used to have the Turtles truck. Yeah, the truck, you know, with the
bright yellow.
No, it was it yellow? It was no, I think it was the Jeep. It was like the VW camper, but it had a shell on the top of it.
So their actual vehicle.
Yeah. Those are the days.
That was yellow. And it was awesome. The party wagon is what it was called, and it was awesome. But yeah, I had that, and I had the blimp as well. I'm part of
the blimp.
I'm part of a Turtles. Well, there's loads of Turtles Facebook pages and stuff out there. But one of them was saying, "What's your first Turtles figure you had when you were a kid growing up?" And the first ones I had, I'm pretty sure were knockoff to begin with, to be honest. But there was a Michelangelo who you wound up, and he just spun on his back, like on the shell. The shell would turn, so he'd just spin on his back, and it was amazing. And you had a Donatello who would swim in the bath, his legs would kick, and he was holding on to like some little scuba gear thing, and I was like, that's amazing.
I had a Donatello where if you pushed his arm down, it would flick back up again. Here's a question though, right? So staying on the theme of toys when you were younger, was there any, I'll go first, can you think of any toys that you really, really wanted that your parents didn't fucking get you? Because it was either too expensive at the time, and looking back now, I completely accept that. Or it was just like they couldn't get hold of it because it was so expensive. I'm asking that because I had one, and it was the backpack from Ghostbusters, the set that also had the ghost catcher as well. You know, the foot thing, the ghost trap. That's what I wanted and never got. You guys go.
I used to make that out of Lego. So.
I was going to say, I asked for one of them, and my dad, God bless him, I think I've already talked about this, either on this pod or it might have been Sidequest actually. My dad made me one of those, and it was awesome. He got like a shell oil container as the backpack part. I actually cut it out, created it so it looked really fucking good, like sprayed it and stuff. Got the like an old Hoover, so I actually had the pack, the royal pack with the actual proper sucky bit, and then got a like a weird like the post box, you know, the flap that goes to your door. Used one of them on like a metal tin, so he actually created me the full gear. It was fucking brilliant, and I had his overall, so I could walk around feeling like a proper Ghostbuster. It was so good, so good. I love that. He also made me, I think I've talked about this, the nunchucks for when I was had my Michelangelo costume. He made me out of 2 bits of balsa wood and a chain, pair of nunchucks. They lasted for all of 5 seconds. And I got them, I was like, yeah, and just smacked my cousin around the face with them, and then they were taken off me. And I was never allowed them again.
That sounds about right.
My toy was the At Walker. I really, really wanted, because our Chris had the Millennium Falcon. Like everything I wanted, like our Chris was, because he was the old one, they're like, he'll play with it more, he'll respect it more. So like he got like the X-wing, he got the Millennium Falcon, he got Megatron, he got all the toys I really wanted, and I would be like, oh well, if you got that, can I have like something to go with it? So I want the speeder bikes and that sort of stuff. And I remember just seeing the artwork when it came out, the toy, and I was like, oh my god, I need that. I really want that. And my mum and dad were like, unfortunately, we couldn't get hold of the artwork. Well, Santa couldn't get the artwork, and yet all of a sudden, Chris had the fucking Millennium Falcon, like, which was probably even more than the fucking artwork.
It's massive. I remember if it's the one that I'm thinking of.
It was incredible, and he got so much stuff, and like, I can't even remember what I got. I think I got a Daffy Duck hand puppet and stuff, which was great. I loved it, but it was just not the Art Walker, and I was like gutted. And then when I was growing up, like a lot older, I was like, oh right, it was like £400. That's the reason why you don't want to get me the Art Walker. But like at the time, I was thinking, but yeah, it was pretty damn pricey. And the other thing I didn't get, which annoyed the hell out of me, and then I'll let other people talk. Sorry, was I wanted a Mogwai. Not a toy. I actually wanted a full-on Mogwai.
Like a real one.
They never got me one. Yeah, they never got me one.
Well, Doddy, you go.
Constructor bots.
What?
The constructor bots from Transformers, and that's what I wanted. Have you ever seen that one where they all come together to make Devastator?
They looked amazing. I had a couple of the Transformers, but I wanted them as well. We never got them.
Purple and green, if memory serves me right, or purple and blue.
Were they the ones that were all separate, and then you put them all together and they'd make something bigger?
Yeah, Devastator.
What he just literally said.
Yeah, there's 5 of them make Devastator. It was the response to the Dinobots, I'm pretty sure. Or Devastator came and then the Dinobots arrived to take on Devastator.
Yeah, I think it's that way around.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, bots, awesome.
Transformers are still going. Like all my nephews are like really into them and stuff, but they've turned them into like dinosaurs now. I'm pretty sure they didn't used to be dinosaurs.
Just talked about Dinobots. We literally just talking about Dinobots.
You know what?
I thought you said Dinobot.
What else they've just brought out now is a brand new Thundercats called Thundercats.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, it's like it's like thingy Teen Titans Go, isn't it? It's like a weird sort of,
Yeah. So there's actually
really
a crossover with the Teen Titans.
Okay.
In it, which is really weird. You know what though? And to begin with, I was like, "What the fuck have they done to this?" And I was like, "This is nothing like our Thundercats." And it is though. And you know what? I think I actually prefer this than our Thundercats. You go back now and watch our Thundercats. Just go on YouTube and watch one episode. It's bad. Right, and then at the end, there's always a really like heartfelt message about don't talk to strangers, otherwise you're going to get raped in a van, like that sort of stuff.
Jesus Christ!
And they don't do that on this. Like every now and again, you will have a message, but the message is like, don't take the fucking chicken out of the oven without a glove.
So I didn't really watch the TV show, but I used to watch the over and over and over again. I used to watch it like on repeat because I had the VHS.
It's honestly, but if you can, it's quite entertaining. Like Oliver loves it because it's like colourful and flashy and quick. It's like not slow paced or anything. It's just but I enjoyed it because it's actually a rather entertaining cartoon to watch, which is weird. It's a bit like the Adventure Time and like Steven's World or whatever the fuck it's called.
Steven Universe.
Stuff, yeah.
I watched Teen Titans go to the movies, and it was great. So good.
So good.
So
I didn't realize
it's just really self-referential. Loads of people in it. I had no idea they were who they were until I was like, "Who's that voice? I know that voice," and started googling it. And yeah,
it's mad because I was listening to Critical Role ages back, and Carrie Payton comes on. And he plays Shikasta,
Walking Dead,
who's this awesome part. And I was like, I recognise that voice. How do I recognise that voice? And it took me ages, and I was like, oh, fuck it, Cyborg. That's who it is. And then I was like, oh, shit, no, he's also Ezekiel in fucking Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's like, how I didn't recognize that, but I knew he was Cyborg in Teen Titans Go. It was mental.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, I don't know whether you guys are up to date with it.
I'll watch you when Rick left.
Okay, spoilers. But yeah,
That was years ago, wasn't it?
16 episodes each season, right? And they've just done episode 15, and they actually haven't managed to finish episode 16 before all production and stuff got shut down.
Oh wow!
So it's coming out later on this year,
yeah,
maybe
at some point.
next year now.
Yeah, who knows? Because
Mhm.
episode 15 really wasn't an ending. It was such an anticlimax. It's just, yeah.
See, I watched the first 2 episodes of the season and then just lost all interest in it.
It had its moment
because I followed it for so fucking long and really enjoyed it and really appreciated it, but for some reason I just couldn't stick it this season.
It's no better or worse than it has been for the last 3, 4, 5 seasons. So I'm still into it, but
I've enjoyed it.
I'm kind of.
Yeah. I can't say there's been a bad season. I've enjoyed them all.
I've had moments, some series you start watching and then they do go off the boil a little bit, and you sort of used to watch as soon as an episode was on. It used to be like, right, we need to watch this now. Whereas I'd end up letting them build up a little bit before I watch a bunch of them. But I still watch it. I still don't want to. I've not retired it like I have things like. I tried to get through Supergirl and Arrow and Flash and everything just so I can get to the end of Arrow, and be like, right, I'm done, and to have watched Crisis.
I really want to watch Crisis, but
yeah,
I can't bring myself to catch up.
See,
I feel like I need to be up to date with all of those plus Batwoman, which just I don't know whether you guys have followed it at all, but Arrow and Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl are all on Sky. And then in the States, they're on the CW. And they also released a series of Batwoman. And each of those shows, there was an episode of a 5-part crossover of Crisis on Infinite Earths. So you had to know what was going on in each of them to be able to, mostly you have to know what was going on in Crisis. But over here, Sky have been showing those 4 shows, but not Batwoman. They didn't get the rights to it. I think it was E4 that got it. Yeah, E4 did start showing it about 3 weeks ago. So you can't be fully up to date to be able to watch Crisis. So I was like, I'm going to wait. And I sat down to watch the first episode of Batwoman a couple of weeks ago, and it's so bad. There's no way I'm going to get through anymore. It's just so bad and cheesy and badly written and badly acted, and I do not recommend it.
Yeah, I'm not going to start any more of the superhero TV shows, simply because of the fact that they cancelled Daredevil. So fuck them. I'm so annoyed.
It's coming back though, isn't it?
No, they said it wasn't.
No, Daredevil can come back from September, but he can be in the movies. Disney are allowed to use him in the movies, but it doesn't mean that it's the same Daredevil.
Yeah.
I remember something about.
They should take it away from him. He's a good Daredevil.
That was good.
Daredevil.
Yeah, but so was Affleck.
In the director's cut.
The director was so good. Like, why did they cut out that entire storyline with Coolio?
Yeah, it made sense. It made the film a million times better. I
do like that film.
I actually like Daredevil.
Kevin Smith's in it. Come on.
I actually liked Daredevil, like the uncut version.
No, not for me. Dan keeps on trying to lend me the DVD of it as well.
Have you not seen it?
I just don't want to. I hated the actual film, so I wouldn't want to watch the fucking uncut version. Just got no interest in it whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, it's great. You don't want to see Coolio. Coolio is such a good actor.
That's not selling me at all. If you're going to watch a film, you're go-to point is, do you not want to watch Coolio on the screen? I'm like,
You know,
I'm all right.
what a skilled actor he is.
I'm good, mate. You
Right,
you
fine.
stick with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
So-
Is anyone getting incredibly bored of quarantine yet? Though, just I feel like we should at least broach this subject once a week.
So
check in on each other.
Here's the thing, right? I'll go. The problem I've got is I rarely go out, right? I have my own little routine where I stay in the house most of the time. Every now and again, I'll do something with you guys, or we'll go on a holiday. But for the most part, I'm not the kind of person that goes to the pub every couple of nights. Sometimes I'll go out for a meal. Shit, I've saved so much money by not eating out. It's ridiculous.
Crazy, isn't it?
But here's the thing: the second they told me that I couldn't go out, I was like, well, like it was like they'd switched the switch. My subconscious thought I was really popular and someone that goes out all the time. So like nothing's really changed for me. However, it's made me want to, knowing that I can't, not just because of the fact that I don't.
Well, I've got a big bag that I can see from here, like one of those big bags for life, the really
It's the
good
thing
strong ones.
That's annoying me the
Yeah, a
most.
lot of stuff.
I want my stuff.
I can see from where I'm sitting on the couch a big bag for life full of things for people that I brought back from Japan that I want to give to them.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
I mean, yeah, but
I haven't.
Reg's is his birthday present. Everyone else has got lots of food and stuff.
I love my chopsticks from the last time you went inside head.
There you go. Yeah. So it's tricky, I almost want to just drive to people's houses, dump them on the doorsteps, and then drive home.
You know what? I didn't realize how much of an issue I had with Starbucks until it's gone. Somebody mentioned a vanilla latte the other day, and honestly, my whole body wanted to shut down. I think. Well, I'm probably over it by now, but I think I had a genuine issue with Starbucks.
With withdrawal symptoms, just like cold turkey instantly.
Yeah, it's like I'm craving something. I don't know what bag I'm up, but either way, I'm getting over it.
Do they put the vanilla essence in before you make the cup of coffee, or do they put it in afterwards?
It's 4 pumps before the coffee.
Okay.
Good callback there, Dan. Good callback.
Yeah, I have a memory of more than 50 minutes.
I kind of miss as well. Like, I mean, this new job that I've got, I can work at home all the time, full time, as we've found out these last 4 weeks. But like, I always could since getting it in January. But I chose not to for a couple of different reasons. One, when I'm at home, I need to pay for central heating to keep my little toesies warm. I also need to pay for coffee and tea. And when I'm at work, I don't. I just have a machine that I go up and press. And frankly, it makes a better cup of coffee and a better cup of tea than I can.
What do you spend on transport though? Surely that outweighs how much you're spending or saving on.
I pay it yearly. It comes out of my wage, so I don't pay for a. Actually, I wonder if I can get money back on that because I'm not using the trains. That's a good point, Dan.
That was what I was trying to get you to. Yeah,
paying £100 a month for a train ticket.
I'll tell you, when you get a secretary to bring you cups of coffee.
Very true.
That's it.
I mean, social distancing. So you have to throw it at me from a distance.
On your doorstep.
Catch, and here's the milk. Oh wait, they give you that first, don't they? Sorry.
Talking about throwing things at me from a distance, I haven't made any progress yet with the refund on the hot tub. We're still pending. I'll keep you updated.
You're not allowed to go into Costco yet.
It wasn't from Costco.
Made any progress in finding the hole?
In what?
Finding the hole.
Finding the hole? No, I've deflated it, so it's just looking all sad in the corner. like me.
I do feel like
Story of my life.
a simple way to all this, and that is to find the hole and patch it.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come and have a go.
Not though, am I?
All
Well-
you need is a little tub of water, then pump it up a bit and put it in that.
Well, the whole hot tub.
Yeah.
I think we made that joke last week. We need a bigger hot tub to try and find where the bubbles are coming out. I'm actually go on.
You live streaming yourself podcasting?
I did try before, but it didn't work, so I gave up.
Okay. All right. I just saw a notification that said Sean is live. Oh, okay.
No, it didn't work. If it worked, I was going to tell you. Yeah, I have been thinking though about. Although we'll need to pay for this bloody Disney holiday first. Oh, that's the thing, guys. I'm going to Disney for Christmas.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah, we'll see.
Although, have you heard that there's some financial analyst over in America who claims that Disney probably may shut down until January 2021?
Yeah.
Just
Also, we booked with Virgin Holidays, and they're about to go bust as well. So,
can you believe that? I was saying to us
Really?
before, when I go back to Florida, I want to go Virgin. I don't want to go British Airways or anything. I want to fly back Virgin. I love Virgin Airways. I'm going to be so upset when I have to go through.
Let's see what happens. But yeah, after I paid for that holiday, I'm thinking about buying myself a real hot tub, one that you don't have to blow up.
Nice. So, how before we go into Disney holiday, because I really want to talk for about half hour to an hour with you about this. Do we have time for that?
I mean, I don't want to talk about it just in case I don't end up going. So
okay, let's not do that.
Let's leave that for now.
Let's do that for next week, because if there's
I don't think I'll know. I don't think I'll know by next week. But we'll see.
You know what? So speaking of next week and last week, we were just referencing back to that. We started doing this podcast again last week because we were waiting for Mr. Doddy.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Doddy is our DM for what we're about to embark on a epic adventure.
DP?
And I, for one, cannot wait. I want to know what sort of DM Mr. Doddy's going to be. Is he going to be the smiling DM, or is he going to be a nasty fucker?
Yes.
And more importantly,
both of those. Yes.
More importantly, when can I do a win?
So that's what I've been working on. I've been reading through the rules and going through everything. I've set up a one-shot adventure just in case you guys don't like it and it's not your thing, which is fair enough. I understand that. But it will take you through the basics.
Is there going to be like an introductory level where you tell us to like jump up in the air and strife left and strife right and pick up an object?
I will take you through as many basics as I can, and then it is down to your imagination and the skill sets that you have.
I'm going to start on an NPC again.
Just pick a fight.
Yes. Come here, I'm selling swords. I draw a sword.
I'm so excited. I've literally got a bag with 7 different sets of full sets of dice for D&D in a little like Hessian bag. So excited for this.
Well,
Dan, what are you?
So in the daytime, I read through my D&D books, but right now I'm reading through another roleplay system, which is a lot more horrible than Dungeons and Dragons. So I might throw you in this one as well.
Dan, quick question: how are you feeling about your first ever game of Dungeons and Dragons?
Not great, because I have no clue at all. What even is it? I don't get it. Do you just make it up as you go along?
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, and then a troll jumped out and killed you. Oh no, but you rolled 7, so you're not quite dead. It's that sort of stuff, right?
You've got to say, like, if a troll jumps out, I'd be like, I don't know. I jump into the nearest tree and make him attack Dan instead.
Imagination.
Yeah, you use your brain.
But within the rules of this is the stuff you have and these are the powers you have.
Absolutely. So I could do, but you can do anything, which is amazing. Which is like, okay, a troll jumps out. I can turn around to Doddy and say, okay, I take out my bagpipes and start playing. Now, one of 2 things might happen there. Either I might get killed, or the troll might like bagpipe. And I think that's where Doddy gets to decide what happens. Like,
yeah, That's the bit that I'm just like, I don't know. I can't picture that. But
One thing
I assume, we'll see.
that I'm dreading is the fact that Dan made Lord Sugar, right? So he's got to speak with his stupid fucking Cockney accent the entire way through because you're role playing as
All
Lord
right, there.
Sugar.
It's a little troll. All right, Mr. Troll. How are you doing?
A tree, isn't it?
So I'm probably going to last maybe one episode before I'm like, you know what, Doddy, kill me off.
I tell you what, mate. I tell you what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to take out my dagger and I'm going to do in that troll.
Got to do in that troll.
You do magic, don't you? Isn't sugar magic?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've got the the fire spell, so I could at some point go, "You're fired." Oh, did no one see that coming?
No, I'm really impressed in about the fact that you've planned that out, though. Like you've looked into whether or not you can do a fire spell and gone, right, brilliant, doing that.
There you go.
And Donnie's like,
there's a spell that you can do where you can tell a joke, and if they go into fits of laughter or not depends on how good you roll. So you could actually do that as your thing.
Tasha's hideous laughter.
Yeah, that's the one.
yeah.
So,
But like you can do like a Lord Sugar like awful joke though, like and you can get back under that bridge and all. Actually, yeah, you
Also,
deserve a bridge.
So subjective. I don't get how it's a game, but we'll see.
Have you watched
roleplay?
I will guide you through like the story, what's happening, who you'll meet. They will interact with you.
So you have a story. You have a story in your head, and you know exactly where it's going, and it's just a question of whether we pick the right things to get through it.
I kind of have a direction where it's going to end up because player
if we stay alive
is the variable. Always player interaction at any role play is so varied you cannot calculate what's going to happen.
So he'll have. I'm guessing he'll have like a start point, an end point, and stuff in between, and items in between, and treasures and stuff. And it's all to do with the players as to where we get from A to B, and whether or not we die in that time.
We're at the mercy of there being a good dungeon master.
Yeah.
I've been out of the game a while, so please bear with me.
Right, Dan, do me a favour. They're online. I think they're on YouTube. Have you seen Harmon Quest yet?
No, yeah. Do you know what I did? I watched what I don't think that's a fair example though, because they're all trying to be funny and being all.
Yeah.
What got me into it, and it's so funny.
Just watch Critical Role. It's immense.
Yeah.
Is that Doddy? Is that the one that you showed me with that guy?
Grog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Grog.
Right, Grog is top of my favourite characters in it, but Jester is coming up very fast.
Yeah,
I've already seen campaign 2. I've not started because campaign 1 started halfway through, didn't it? So I started campaign 2 just so I could literally get it from the start and listen to it all. But my first ever experience with it was watching listening to the Search of Grog, because it randomly came up after listening to our podcast on Spotify. It just came up. Next was Search for Grog, and I was like, "What's this?"
Spotify. So basically, awesome. Spotify wants us to play Dungeons and Dragons, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. And to be fair, I'm on episode 83 now or something, so it's worked. I've listened to over 300 hours of Critical Role.
Have you met the hag yet?
I think I'm just about to get there. We've just gone to the volcano for TravelCon.
I won't even spoil it.
Fair enough. It's
Jester
so good.
Plays it well.
I'm intrigued to see, because ages ago you claimed she might be the big bad, and ever since you said that, when she's talking, it was like, can't get that out of my head now. Although, spoiler alert for people who haven't heard it, but I am miles behind, so hopefully it might be that bad for everyone else. Ford's just come clean now and lost his accent and lost his powers of his warlock and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's so intense. But that whole episode was it's stupid because it's just a podcast of just people playing a game, and you shouldn't really be that much into the characters, but I genuinely am. And it was the most intense 4 hours of my life. It was just listening to that episode was just so fucking nail biting and just so intense. I was like, shit in hell. When it finished, I was like, I need to lie down. It was either because of the podcast or the fact I'm on tramadol that just really like knocked me out. It was one or the other.
You've got to see when it comes on YouTube or watch them live, like Matt Mercer when he reacts to what they're doing. His facial expressions sometimes
it's amazing.
And his brain just fires so quick, and he's just like, right, roll me this, and it's just wow. It actually just talked it over with a friend, like, because eventually I want to do it over like streaming YouTube and Twitch. I said, but I'm never going to be as good as Matt Mercer. And he turned around to me and said, no one is. Don't be Matt Mercer. Be you. Just play the story, play the game. I was like, right.
Because he is, but again, that just shows like when Dan was saying, like, do you have an actual issue? Like, how is it going to plan out? Do you know how the start and the finish and stuff is? So, as Dottie just said, they do like live shows every now and then. And there's one where they were building up to this big, huge story, and the end fight was going to be at the live show. And the week before it, they went into the hut when they shouldn't have gone into it and started the fight and literally beat it all. So the actual live show was just them sitting around talking and like going off on another bit of a journey. It's had this huge, massive, intense fight where he had loads of stuff planned for and stuff to be brought in. They just completely went all around it and beat it early, so he had to completely think of a new thing to do, because it's literally at the mercy of how we perform. Like Dottie could have like the most amazing story set off, but if you've got to talk to an NPC to start it, and then Steve does what he wants to do and just murders that NPC, we could not even do the story.
Right, okay.
It's so vast and so insanely.
I'm guessing that's why NPCs. I'm guessing that's the reason why NPCs are so overpowered, though, right?
Only some. Like where you started and who you started on was a very powerful person, and he was just laughing it off. He was just like, "Here we go."
Were you rolling to see how he was reacting? By the way.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ! So, guessing I was rolling low.
He was rolling quite high just to shrug it off because he had bad temperament to it. So every time I was rolling, it was just like, right, doing like a perception kind of roll to see like if he was going to be offended by what you were saying, and he just took it all like on the chin, just like, oh, I like this guy.
Look at these guys' special friend.
Pretty much, he's just like 50 all big beans.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. Right, I think we're over the hour mark, guys.
We're good, yeah. I think we've come to that time.
Although I did enjoy tonight. I think trading in Dave for Doddy was a good idea.
Yes.
Just to mix things up a bit. We could do special guests now. We can invite people on.
Yeah, we could do interviews and everything.
And
the thing of it, even celebrities are sat at home twiddling their thumbs with nothing to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was just thinking fans.
Yeah. Have we still got the email address of the guy who plays Johnny Barber?
He gave it to you.
I don't know where it is. Red's got it. He was interested in doing an interview one time.
Really want to talk about Bare Naked Ladies, didn't he? So I was like, of course I'll have you on the pod.
And on that note,
pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was fun. Lots of fun.
Well, good to have you on.
Yep. I do think though, we all need either better microphones or to all have the same settings or to use something that doesn't cut off. This will get better. Stick with us.
Yeah, let's experiment this week.
It's the learning curve. We're all in this together.
All in this together.
Sorry. Anywho.
Yeah.
I've been Dan.
I've been Sean.
I've been Reg.
I've been Doddy.
And thank you. Bye. See you.
And scene.